Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we are going to learn how to create podcast episode titles and descriptions using AI agent. So let's suppose I'm running podcast and I want to generate the title and descriptions automatically for that. Now how I'm going to do this, I'm going to add the topic in my Google Sheets spreadsheet and I automatically want my AI agent to generate the title and the description for that. Doing this manually is a very time-consuming task, so I'm completely going to automate this process. And to do this automation, I'm going to use Pabbly Connect. So Pabbly Connect is an amazing automation and integration software which requires no coding or programming skills. Here I just need to build connection between Google Sheets and OpenAI. With the help of Pabbly Connect, I am going to build this connection in such a way that whenever I am going to add a new topic of my podcast in my Google Sheets spreadsheet, the title and the description will be automatically generated with the help of OpenAI, and then the rows will be automatically updated in my Google Sheets spreadsheet. Now, if you want to learn the step-by-step process, then let me take you all to my screen. In this video, we are going to see how to create podcast episode titles and descriptions using AI agent. For this, I have created an automation workflow where I have built connection between Google Sheets and OpenAI with the help of Pabbly Connect. And now we are going to check this automation workflow once. For that, I am going to open my Google Sheets and here you can see that I have already added a topic. I am going to add a transcript, and if the title and the description are automatically generated, then this means this automation workflow is working fine. So here I am going to open my Google Sheets spreadsheet. I am going to add the transcript and then I am going to wait for a few seconds. Let's refresh this page once. And here we can see the title and the description has been added automatically and instantly. So this is how this automation workflow is going to run. And now to learn how to create this, let's start creating this from the beginning. In this video, we are going to learn how to create podcast episode titles and descriptions using AI agent. For this, I'm going to create automation between Google Sheets and OpenAI with the help of Pabbly Connect. So this is the landing page of Pabbly and you can visit this simply by typing pabbly.com/connect in your browser. Now after browsing this website, we need to sign in to our Pabbly account. On the top right corner, you can see two options, sign in and sign up for free. If you are an existing user, click on the sign in, and if you are a new user, click on the sign up for free, and this will give you 100 tasks free on monthly basis. As I'm an existing user, I'll click on the sign in. And here all Pabbly apps page has appeared, which is showing me all the Pabbly applications. Here I'm going to click on this Pabbly Connect Access Now. And it has taken me to this dashboard where I will be able to find all my workflows over here and all the folders which I have created over here. Now if you want to create a new folder, simply click on this plus icon and from here you can create a new folder. For now, I want to create a new workflow for which I need to click on this Create Workflow button. And first I need to provide the workflow name and then I have to select the folder in which I want to save that workflow. So first, let's name this workflow as How to Create Podcast Episode Titles and Descriptions Using AI Agent. And now I need to select my folder. So these are the folders which have been created and here I'm going to select this as AI Agent and then click on Create. So here workflow created successfully. As soon as I click on create, two boxes have appeared in front of me. One is trigger, other is action. So trigger says when this happens, and action says do this. So trigger is basically an event which starts the automation of a workflow. There can be only one trigger step in a workflow, but as many as action steps as you want. Here in this workflow, I want to create podcast episode titles and descriptions using AI agent, which means whenever I'm going to add a new topic and transcript in my Google Sheets spreadsheet, the title and the description will be automatically generated with the help of AI agent, which means trigger says when this happens. So when I'm going to add a new topic and transcript in my Google Sheets spreadsheet and then action says do this, then create title and description or generate title and description and add that to my Google Sheets spreadsheet. Now here, in my trigger application, I will be taking Google Sheets and then in my action application, I will be taking OpenAI with the help of which I am going to generate this title and description and then again Google Sheets in which I am going to add all the details. Now here, let's quickly take my trigger application as Google Sheets. And then in my trigger event, I'm going to take this new or updated spreadsheet row. Now I need to make connection between Pabbly Connect and Google Sheets, for which a webhook URL is provided to me. And this webhook URL is going to act as a bridge to connect my Google Sheets with Pabbly Connect. So reading this help test, we are going to build this connection, and to make this connection, let me open my Google Sheets. So this is my Google Sheets spreadsheet, and I'm going to add a topic and a transcript first here. Here I have added my topic, the future of work, remote, hybrid or back to office. And then here I have added the transcript. Now I'm going to send this information or the data which I have added in my Google Sheets spreadsheet to my Pabbly Connect workflow, so that it can process it and later generate title and description with the help of AI agent. Now how I'm going to do this, I'm going to go towards my Google Sheets, click on this extensions, go to add-ons and then click on this get add-ons. Here Google Workspace Marketplace will appear in front of me, where I need to search for Pabbly Connect Webhooks. And it is showing installed because I have already installed this in my Google Sheets. But if you're doing this for the first time, make sure that you follow the same process and install this Pabbly Connect Webhooks in your Google Sheets. After that you install this, it will start appearing over here, and from here you have to go towards this initial setup. Now this box has appeared in front of me where I need to enter the webhook URL and the trigger column. So this is the same webhook URL which I'm provided in my Pabbly Connect workflow. So I'm going to copy this webhook URL and paste that webhook URL over here. Next, I need to enter this trigger column. So it says the trigger column will be a final data entry column on which if the data is added, the whole of that row data will be sent to the webhook URL or the Pabbly Connect workflow. So here my final data entry column is column B. Here as you can see that I have added a topic and the transcript of the podcast, and I'm not going to add the title and the description because I will be adding this as soon as AI generates that for me. So here I'm finally going to enter my data in this column B and not any other column. So trigger column simply means the final data entry column or the end column on which we are going to add this data. So here my final data entry column happens to become this column B. Now I have added this webhook URL and trigger column. I'm simply going to click on the send test. And here you can see the test data sent successfully, which means this data is sent to my Pabbly Connect workflow. And now to make this setup, I have to click on the submit also. You will see the setup configured successfully, which means we have successfully added the webhook URL which we were provided in Pabbly Connect here in this Google Sheets. And now we have to follow a very important step. We have to go towards this extensions, go to Pabbly Connect Webhooks and then click on the send on event. So this step will make sure whatever data we add in future, it is sent to Pabbly Connect. Now let's open my Pabbly Connect workflow and check whether I have received the response or not. And here we can see that we have received the response. The trigger column is B. Here I have received the transcript and then I have received the topic. Now, as soon as I have received all the details in this workflow, we can say the connection setup that we have created with the help of this webhook URL between Pabbly Connect and Google Sheets, that is successful. And now whenever I'm going to add a new data in my Google Sheets spreadsheet, I will start capturing that response here in this workflow. Now moving on to the next step, whenever I'm going to add a new title or new topic, new transcript in my Google Sheets spreadsheet, I want to generate the title and the description for that podcast so that I can post it somewhere, or I can save this in my Google Sheet and use it to post on various social media or wherever I'm going to post this podcast. Now I'm going to take my action application as OpenAI. And then in my action event, I'm going to select this as ChatGPT and then click on connect. If you have an existing connection, go with save. If you don't have one, click on this add new connection. And now to make this connection, we have to enter the token. Following the help test given below, I'm going to enter this token and I'm going to click on the hyperlink. And it has taken me towards this API keys page. Now to create a new API key, we simply need to click on this create new secret key. First, we have to name this key. So let's say the name is testing. The project remains default project and the permissions will be all. And then you simply need to click on this create secret key. A new API token will be provided to you, which you need to copy and paste that over here. Here I have already an existing connection. I have created this connection multiple times. That's why I'm selecting this as existing connection and then go with save. So here OpenAI is connected with Pabbly Connect, and now I have to enter the AI model and the prompt. Now in this drop down, you can find all the AI models which I have. I'm going to select this as GPT-4o Mini. If you do not find your AI model, simply toggle on this mapping button, remove this AI model and enter your own AI model. Here as I have my AI model, I have selected that. I'm going to enter the prompt. Now in this prompt, I am going to tell this OpenAI that I have this topic and the transcript of the podcast and I want to generate the title and the description. I want that response in JSON format so that I can add that to my Google Sheet in the next step. So here we are going to write the prompt as. So here I have entered my prompt based on this podcast transcript summary. The topic, generate a catchy SEO friendly episode title and a 2-3 sentence engaging description for the podcast platform. The output should be strictly in JSON format. The title and description should be separate and without these signs. Now here I am going to add the transcript and the topic, but we are not going to add this manually. Instead, we are going to use a method called mapping, which means we are going to enter the data from the previous response. Now here I have received the response from Google Sheets. When I click on this field, I can see this Google Sheets. When I click on this, I can see all the response which I have received from there. Here I need to enter the topic and the transcript of the summary. I am going to enter this transcript and then I am going to enter the topic also following the same process. Now over here, mapping is important so that every time you receive a new response, it is taken into consideration in this field. Manually entering the data will make this field static and the information will not change even if you have received the new response. Over here, if I manually enter any detail, this field will become static and every time I receive a new response, the result will not change. So as to keep this field dynamic, we use this process mapping instead of manually entering the details. Now that I have entered these details, I'm simply going to click on the save and send test request and you will see that we have received the response. The content title, I have received this and the content description, I have received this. Now with the help of the prompt which I have given, the output should be strictly in JSON format. The title and description should be separate and without these signs. So because of this prompt itself, I have received the title and the description in separate response. Now it has become easy for me to map this in my Google Sheets Actions tab. Here we have received the content title as the future of work in 2025 and then here we have received the description. I'm going to add this title and the description in my Google Sheets. For that, I'm going to take my action application as Google Sheets and then in my action event, I'm going to select update row and then click on connect. If you have an existing connection, go with save. If you don't have one, click on this add new connection, then click on this sign in with Google. Here you need to choose your account where you have logged in your Google Sheets. And after choosing your account, you simply need to click on this allow. It is always advisable to keep your applications logged in for the easy authorization and here authorization successful, which means Google Sheets is connected with Pabbly Connect and now I have to enter all these details. The first one is that I have to select the spreadsheet. So here the name of my spreadsheet is my podcast. So I have selected that spreadsheet and you will see the sheet will be automatically selected. Now I need to enter this row index. So the row is row 2. But we are not going to enter this manually again. We are going to map this from the response which we have received in Google Sheets. This is the row index. And whenever I am going to add new data, this will keep changing. So we have mapped this because we do not want to keep this field static. The topic transcript are already filled in this field. So I'm going to skip this. We are not going to enter this. I'm going to enter the title which I have received in my response and then I'm going to enter the description. Here I have entered all these details. I'm simply going to click on the save and send test request and here we have successfully added this to my Google Sheet spreadsheet. You can see the title and the description has been added automatically and instantly. This was the title and this was the description. Now to summarize, we took Google Sheets as a trigger application where we made connection with Pabbly Connect with the help of this webhook URL. We submitted data and received that response here in this workflow. Then we moved to the next step where we wanted OpenAI to generate the title and the description for us. So we took OpenAI as the action application, made connection with Pabbly Connect, entered the AI model and the prompt, received the response, and then we simply mapped that response to my Google Sheets spreadsheet. So this is how this automation workflow is going to run, and here we have successfully created automation between Google Sheets and OpenAI with the help of Pabbly Connect. I hope you like this video. Thanks for watching. Not only these applications, but you can integrate many more applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. Now if you have any doubt, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any query, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com, and if you have any pricing related issue, you can visit the website given over here. Also, if you find our videos helpful, do share it with your friends and like and subscribe to our channel.